At this point of time, unconfirmed reports are coming due to poisoning, but there is no confirmation that has been given yet. The Mumbai police has sent a team to get the information confirmed, but the family members have till now confirmed that he has health complications. So of course, news coming in at this point that he has been hospitalized. Meanwhile, joining us on the broadcast are a host of guests to discuss this development with all of our viewers. We have Ambassador Suresh Kumar Goyal, former diplomat, Mr. RVS Mani, internal security expert, as well as Colonel J.S. Sodhi and Mr. Sanjeev Srivastav, who are all joining us live. I'd like to go across to Ambassador Goyal. There are in fact a lot of charges against Dawood Ibrahim. He has been designated a terrorist by the United Nations. There is a bounty of about 25 million on his head. He's been accused of financing the Lashkar-e-Toiba, the Al-Qaeda. He is considered the mastermind behind the 1993 Mumbai bombings, and is of course under lens for targeted killings, extortion, murder and running an illegal business empire. So what is your very first reaction to this development? Sir, there seems to be an audio connectivity issue at your end. Can you hear me now? Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay, no, I'm saying my first reaction is going to be good riddance. After all, he's a person who indulged in all kinds of crimes against India and Indian people. You have mentioned all the rackets that he was indulging in. He was part of the attacks in Mumbai, and he organized quite a few extremist and militant activity within India. So my first reaction, if he passes away, or to put it very bluntly, if he dies wherever it is, good riddance really. The only regret would be that he wouldn't be brought to justice. I would have been happier if he faced justice in the Indian system, if he answered to all the charges against him, but that was unlikely. I mean, given the kind of protection that he got from the Pakistan government and the Pakistan army, it was very unlikely that Pakistan would ever agree to extradite him or to let him come to India to face justice system. And it would have been a pipe dream that we would eventually be able to get Dawood Ibrahim back in India. And even when he was living in Dubai, we know that he had a house in Dubai. Everybody knew where his house in Dar al-Bab, there was a house. It's a very prime kind of a property, but we all know that he wouldn't be able to, or he wouldn't be brought to justice in India for all the reasons. Therefore, if he dies, thank God that one enemy of India would have finally faced the justice, if not in India, in the court of the God, or the court of the Allah, if he believes in Allah.
All right, and on this point, I'd like to bring in Colonel Sodhi. Sir, Ambassador Goyal had mentioned the properties of Dawood Ibrahim, and interestingly, the government of India had sent a dossier to Pakistan back in 2015, where the government had listed out 9 properties, out of which one was an ISI safe house in Boban Hill on the Islamabad-Muri road between Islamabad and Rawalpindi. The dossier also notes that 3 passports were issued to him, 2 from Karachi and 1 from Rawalpindi. So it is but obvious that Pakistan has been shielding Dawood Ibrahim, who has been fomenting terror in India. Amid all of this, do you agree with what Ambassador Goyal has said, that justice has not been meted out?
Jai Hind, Priya. It's my honor to be on a news channel and a privilege to be with the esteemed co-panelist. I 100% agree with what Ambassador Goyal has said. He has put everything so crisply and clearly, and my salute and respect to Ambassador Goyal for all that he has articulated. Priya, the fact is, India has time and again given many dossiers to Pakistan, in which not only Dawood Ibrahim, the other top terrorist details, including their residential properties, their commercial links, their relatives, where they go, what time they eat, everything has been given. but Pakistan has always ignored this. Rather, in the last few decades, whenever any Indian Prime Minister visited Pakistan, for those 1 or 2 days, Pakistan would quietly send out Dawood Ibrahim to the Middle East so that officially they can say that he is not there when the Indian Prime Minister came. But the fact is, Dawood Ibrahim has been living there. He's got a plush house in the upmarket area in Islamabad called the Clifton area, where his house is supposed to be nothing less than a palace. The fact is, Pakistan has shielded him, and today, as he's grappling with the alleged reports of poisoning, well, what is taught to us in India in our Sanskriti, Sabhyata, and Sanskar, that karma strikes back, and when karma strikes back, it strikes hard. Though he may or he may not live, that only time will tell. But I perfectly agree with Ambassador Goel that the regret of every Indian will be that a notorious and a dangerous terrorist like Dawood Ibrahim could not be brought to India to face the trial in the Indian courts there. He may die today or tomorrow, but this regret will remain in every Indian heart, because the mayhem and the disaster Dawood Ibrahim has caused to India, that cannot be quantified. It is so much that it will take hours to speak about the illegal and the unlawful acts that Dawood Ibrahim has done in India.
Indeed, sir. And on that note, I'd also like to rope in Mr. Sanjeev Srivastav. Sir, do you think now, the terror empire that Pakistan has backed for decades now, it's finally crumbling?
Well, I think the terror empire is very much crumbling, and Pakistan is facing the heat of the same terrorists whom they harbored and whom they sponsored, supported, etc., etc. And those terrorists themselves, they are biting Pakistan very hard. And if you look at the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan or several other terrorist organizations, they have become a big, a threat to Pakistan's establishment, and they are attacking very hard. And Dawood Ibrahim is certainly one of the most wanted terrorist criminal who is involved in the various criminal and terrorist activity inside India, including the 1993 Mumbai bomb blast and several other such crimes he has committed with the extortion, targeted killings, drug trafficking, and many more. And I think that if this report gets confirmed that he has died, then it will be certainly a good development with regard to India's fight against terrorism and the various criminal elements. And I think, but yes, I completely agree with what Ambassador Goel has said, that it would have been better if he could have been brought to India and he would have felt the heat of the justice system in India, and he would have been punished in India. That would have been a very good development. But even if he gets this kind of natural justice in the court of God, as Ambassador Goel has pointed out, I think that is also a satisfactory development. It will be certainly a good satisfaction for all Indians, those who wanted to see him getting punished for his crimes and what kind of terrorist activities he had done in India.
Indeed, and I'd also like to rope in Mr. R.V.S. Mani, who's been waiting rather patiently. Sir, you have constantly come on NewsX, and you have in fact given your analysis in depth about how exactly, foreign terror nexus impacts and sort of tries to ferment terror within India, how they radicalize people, indoctrinate people in order to carry out terrorist activities. Dawood Ibrahim was someone who financed all of this. So how does him going down will sort of have a snowball effect in curbing terror and reducing terror?
See, the terror factories in the terror ideology in Pakistan, operating from Pakistan and POK, ISI sponsored, has certainly received a setback. But I would certainly say that it will be, I will not allude to the fact that it is an end of this era. Practically speaking, Dawood Ibrahim was responsible around 40% of the terror funding. The state of Pakistan and other sources, now it has extended to ISIS and also Al-Qaeda and all. Lashkar-e-Toiba was, yes, Jamaat-ud-Dawa, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, etc., huge funding we were doing. That is number one. Number two, I would like to again say, as a nationalist, I wish he should have been brought to justice in India. But as a realist, if you see, had he been brought to justice and given our justice system and all that, it would have been quite a challenge to have really framed him up in spite of the overwhelming evidences, the Tariq pe Tariq syndrome and all, because he was already on the old, the legacy of that, and a lot of support he had received in the Indian system. Because if you see, one Mr. M.L. Sharma, Special Director, CBI, had written a report on organized crime syndicate. It was the Interpol or some international organization. In 2001, he had flagged a very important thing, that the organized crime syndicate had penetrated into appointing judges, etc. The organized crime syndicate, lower level. We have seen a lot of convictions of judges also in Bombay and other places. No, without naming anybody, it has been flagged. The police officers, bureaucracy posting, so many things. So I would have really been not very confident of his having been brought to book. That is one point I wanted to say. Yes, terror, one particular vertical of the terror corporate has been demolished today. A major vertical, or rather the biggest vertical of terror factory has been, terror corporate has been demolished today. But there will be other, and I am sure, given the momentum we are into it, and the way the terror elements are getting demolished almost day in and day out, it's a very, very major momentous occasion for that. So for that extent, I am very happy, notwithstanding that his own cronies are still operating in India. His brother Anis Ibrahim is there. His wife is also Zareen, also somewhere she keeps visiting India. There are other people of his family who are well entrenched in India. There are corporate, there are some fixers and others who are still connected to him. And more importantly, what we want is that it is a setback, but Pakistan, even if he is dead, Pakistan in a sort of what we in Hindi we call it Dharma Shankat, because repeatedly they have been denying the presence of Dawood in that defense enclave, Clifton Colony, Karachi. But now to accept that he has died, that will be they will have their egg on their faces. That is the reason they are neither denying nor accepting. They are ambivalent on that. The internet has been blocked in Pakistan, YouTube channels, tweeters, everything has been Pakistan. This is a very clear indication that they want to hide something about a very, very important personality, and they want to avoid some embarrassment. These are all signatures that Pakistan, Dawood Ibrahim, either is hospitalized, poisoned and hospitalized, or he has already died. We do not know the truth, and we will never know the truth, authentic truth, because Pakistan establishment is not going to give away the truth. They will continue to be in some sort of denial, because 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, Joint Anti-Terror Mechanism, 2008, Home Secretary level talks, 7 or 8 dossiers we have made. I have been personally involved in drafting those dossiers. It is not only Dawood is only, he was number one in the list. 35 to 40 people list we used to give. There are other cronies also, fugitives in India, some of them as an offshoot of Dawood, part of the Dawood's team. They continue to live in Pakistan. Many fugitives are there, and Indian government has been taking it up. That is not only the 2011 that we received a setback when the then Home Minister changed the pattern of making of dossiers, and 2 people were in the list were found in Indian jails. So that also offset the credibility of the dossiers also. That setback we received in 2011. Notwithstanding that, 2015 when we handed over the dossiers, it had this handicap of credibility. So I am sure things will be sorted out. A major terror corporate, terror corporate major vertical is demolished today. So to that extent, good riddance. I am very happy about it. It's a very momentous occasion for me. Personally, it is a very momentous occasion for me. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.